Hey y'all, welcome to my studio. I decided to give you guys a full tour of all of my equipment and like some info, on like how I do my process and like the way I found best to do wireless PCVR or like we'll see as we go, right? But first of all, let me address this, right? I got an Antlion mod mic, right? From apparently from a third party, right? Seller on Amazon. And I'm being led to believe from all my research that somebody's doing some fishy stuff with these and it's not Antlion's fault. I use this real quick to record like what settings to use video with Resident Evil Village, and the volume was a little low on it, but I was able to adjust that and record some Boneworks today, and it came out really good. And I was just a little bit too high, so I think it's perfect. It does really well. For what I needed, which is a good microphone for a VR headset, it's great for that. And I need it to be the same audio, right, on two different VR headsets. So in that case, it works very well. I got extra magnets, right? So I'm going to be able to put one on the PlayStation VR 2 if I upgrade to a Quest 3 or like the Valve Deckard. I have a magnet for that, so I'll be able to not remove this little magnet. I'm really weird. I'm very OCD and minimalist, right? So I don't add like stickers or anything to my stuff, right? I like things stock, right? But now that I have it on here and it's perfect, it's right where I want it to be. Let me show you real quick, right? Normally I tie my hair back when I record for VR, right? It's the only other time I tie my hair back besides when I eat, because your hair will touch your face. And I play a lot of horror games, and it literally, your brain, it doesn't matter how much you know that's not a spider. My brain says spider, right? So check this out. So this is where I have it, right? And it's a fist away, and it's a little bit up here and out of the way, so there's no way any wind will actually hit it. And I have it as low profile and as close as I can get to the headset, so there's very minimal chance of anything bumping it. And when I get the PlayStation VR 2, I'm just going to put my hand right where it is, right here, which is right above my ear, and get my hand like this, and I'm going to position it just the exact same place, which is a little off-centered from most people who use microphones, but everything I learned, that this is just as good, if not better, as right here, right next to your mouth. And it picks it up really well, right? I have it set where it's on omnidirectional mode, and it doesn't have very much noise cancellation. But my roommates are gone 5 days a week, right? So I have the whole house to myself, and if I schedule it at the right time, right, it doesn't matter. And I live way out in the country, and so once in a great while, like an emergency vehicle will go by, but for the most part, it's really quiet. So it's almost like I have a soundproof room, right? Because it's pretty damn quiet outside. On the other side of this door is quiet, right? And I have all this furniture and all this stuff in the room. It's the bare rooms, like the no stuff in them, empty VR rooms or empty YouTube studios. It'll cause it to cause all kind of echo and weird sounds. The way that people end up fixing it is they buy stuff to put on the ceilings and the walls, right? But all it's doing is just chopping up so that there's not flat parallel surfaces like the ground to the ceiling and stuff. I have ceiling fan, I have popcorn ceiling, I have old pictures on the walls, I have plenty of furniture, and best of all, I have pillows and blankets and stuff. This area here, I draped one of these soft blankets across, right? And the other one, this blanket here, goes right on this dresser that you're sitting on, right? Then I have another one of these comforters. I swap them out every time I do laundry, right? It's black on one side, red on the other, and then this one's this flowery pattern that my roommates let me use, right? So I fold it up, right? And I completely cover this corner from here to here and make sure that even if I come this way, I won't hit it because it'll destroy my Quest controller and hurt. And that enables, and I right here in the corner between the bed and the dresser, there's a corner there. I take one of my 4 pillows and I fold it in half and I stick it right in that corner, right? So I won't hit it. So the whole ledge has the blanket and the corner has the pillow. This whole corner has a comforter, full-size comforter, folded up like this, folded in half. And then I have my blanket here. I'm able to add the entire bed, right? The entire bed to my VR play space. I end up using this to stabilize my legs. It comes up to here, see? Comes up to here. So I can stabilize and I can keep from shaking, or when I crouch down, I can use the bed, right, to stabilize shots. And I do a lot. I use this. This is an actual VR accessory that I have. This bed is a serious VR accessory, right? Highly recommend you find something that comes up to about here, works really well for me, and have it all padded. When I get a pro like room that's VR only, right, I'm going to get like wraparound couches or wraparound this, then you don't need a guardian. And whenever you come up on it, you can use it to brace yourself. It's a really cool VR accessory, right? Bed. I run the Quest 2, and if I could buy any VR headset right now besides the PlayStation VR 2, it would still be this one, no matter how much money, right? And that's because it's flushed out when it comes to the tracking. Tracking is something that you're going to have a lot of problems with unless you spend a butt ton of money on lighthouses and have like a $600 tracking system. And I don't want to do all that because everything's going inside out. Everything's being tracked by the headset, or even better, the Quest Pro controllers that track themselves. So they work really hard to update their controllers. I'm hoping Sony does the same because it's important. It's not done. It's never going to be done. They always need to update how controllers work, right? They always need to keep working at it. It won't be finished ever, right? And I'm going with, I really, really like standalone. Not to play standalone, but so that it can do what is called split rendering techniques, right? It is running a whole computer in here. It does all the processing for the controller. It does all the processing for where it's at in reality, and it offloads all of that work from the computer. It handles me and my interaction with the VR environment, with the Unreal Engine or with the Resident Evil engine. It's how I interact with it, right? And all these standalone headsets, Guy, right, the creator of Virtual Desktop, right? I literally name my routers. All my routers for my studios from now on are going to be called Guy, right? It's spelled like Guy, but it's pronounced Guy, right? Because Guy makes the best virtual desktop app, right? Like Oculus, if you use theirs, or at least when I had to use it a few months ago, it's 200 megabits, right? Transfer rate. No matter how good your Wi-Fi is, like that's all it does. Well, Guy has it unlocked, so it can do up to 1200 megabits, right? Wireless. But I only have it running at 866 because it's a Wi-Fi 5 router. And to get that true 1200, you would need to get a 2.5 gigabit router with a 2.5 gigabit port and a 2.5 gigabit port on the computer, which I have, and a 2.5 gigabit cable, which I have. I have everything but the router, right? Because if you don't have all that stuff, there's no reason to go to Wi-Fi 6 because you can only transfer 1000 megabits. So who cares if you got a 1200 megabit connection, right? So what I'm trying to do is hold off for Wi-Fi 7. Wi-Fi 7 is 2.4 gigabit, and I have a 2.5 gigabit connection. So the next headsets that come out, if they're Wi-Fi 7, I'll go from 866, right, to 2.4 gigabit, and max out my Ethernet connection. That's the plan in the future. I'm future-proof for Wi-Fi, right? So that's a cheap, was TP-Link AC 1750 refurbished on Amazon, right? That thing is just a cheap-ass router. But what you do is you plug it in and you set it up for Wi-Fi, right? You even plug in the internet if you have to like get it all up and running. But then you disconnect the internet, right? And you have that Wi-Fi you made, and you just plug it directly into your PC, right? My PCs have Wi-Fi each themselves, so they still have the internet. But when they're talking through there, there's no internet involved. So it's connected through that router, wired to here, and it's only this talking on that entire network, so it doesn't matter. Like all those other numbers, those maxed out numbers don't matter, right? With Wi-Fi routers, with Wi-Fi 5 and virtual desktop, right, you'll have an 866 megabit connection. With Wi-Fi 6, you'll have a 1.2 gigabit, 1200 megabit connection. If you have a 2.5 gigabit port and you have a 2.5 gigabit cable and you have a 2.5 gigabit port in your router, then you'll have 1200 megabit. If not, this is going to be one gigabit, 1000 megabit, because that's what a regular Ethernet card is, which you most likely have. It's a big deal to not have a 1 gigabit port. So 866 megabits versus a gigabit, 1000 megabits, is really what your choice is for most people when it comes to wireless. So just get the cheap one for now, right? It works fine. It's 4 times more bandwidth than you get using the Oculus app, right? Let's see what else we got. Oh, I bought this, right? POW XS battery recharger that charges any kind of battery, for the Quest batteries, right? And it's garbage. It's some Amazon garbage, right? It says it's fully charged, and it'll never charge the batteries more than 80%. But that's not a problem because I paid like $11 for it, right? And I paid, I don't know, like $4 for 2 Energizer batteries, and it's worked for 2 years. And anything over 80% damages the battery, and anything under 30% damages the battery. So I let it run till 30%, and then I charge it to 80%, and then I let it run down to 30%. So I get 50% battery use out of it between charges. Still lasts me over a month, so it's fine. I never had to buy batteries, right? This is a MX Master 2S. I got this refurbished for like $40. They're like $100 and something. They're expensive, right? It's the professional mouse that all the editors and stuff use. It's got like this really cool, like clicky, like scroll wheel, and then it has like the free flowing one. It's got extra buttons on the side and all that. It's a really good mouse. I've been abusing the hell out of it for 2 years straight, and it's great. I use it on both computers, and I use it on my phone, right? Because it lets you change for free. So I'm actually able to, like, when I'm recording, right, that the computer back there, it's a ROG something or another, right? It's the one that's always running all day long, right? It's my daily work computer. It's the one that I have Premiere Pro on, right? And it's the one that I do all my YouTubing on and my editing on and all that shit on, right? Well, when I turn this one on, I got to disconnect the monitor, right? And I got to disconnect the keyboard because I don't have a wireless keyboard. And I plug just those 2 in. And without those 2 plugged in, this has just a power cable and an Ethernet cable in it. So it has up to 4 cables in it at once. I plug all of them in, right? The monitor and the keyboard, right? And I switch over the mouse. I turn on the router, and I turn this on. Then I turn on the microphone, and I turn on the headset. When I open up my computer and I open up SteamVR, not SteamVR, OBS, it's automatically ready to record SteamVR, and automatically this microphone is working, and you can see the sound going through, and everything's ready to go. All I have to do is hit record. So I go in, I launch any game I need to launch. I take the headset off once I'm at the start screen. I go and I make sure everything's good. I hit record, I move the mouse away, I turn the mouse off so no mouse pointer ever gets moved, because like my sister has cats and mice, so they will move them in front of your screen. It happened before. And just do my recording, right? And then it's also wired. The other computer is wired to there too. So when I'm all done recording, I move the file over and then I shut everything down, right? And if I keep that router for some reason, right? If you're connected with Wi-Fi with your computer, but then you have a router connected between your two computers that doesn't have the internet, it makes the internet not slow, but it makes connecting slow. Like forever for the YouTube page to load, then when it loads, full speed, or for like 90 seconds for Steam VR to like Steam to like start downloading a game, but then you'll get your full speed. It's the actual like connection, so it's trying to connect to there. It doesn't ruin anything, but I just have to remember to turn it off because it will cause weird. Anything connected to it, wired to it, will cause it to act funny. I think it's something to do with Microsoft always wanting to be online or some shit. I don't know. But so it just runs, plays the game. It's got a water cooled CPU all in one cooler, right? And it's got a Ryzen, an RTX 3070, right, with an oversized cooler, so it's real quiet, so you can't hear anything, and it stays real cool. Runs for 30 minutes, and I shut it down. And then what else we got here? Oh, these are a really important part, right? So I pay for YouTube Premium, right? I always do, because like even if I love an artist and stuff, a YouTuber, I'm not gonna give to Patreon. I don't do subscriptions, right? I got the Adobe subscription because I have to, and I pay for YouTube because I use it so much, right? And it helps the creators. Like if you pay for YouTube Premium and you watch 4 creators, they each like get like a fourth of that money minus YouTube's cut. It depends upon how much you watch them. And I'm very loyal with my YouTube YouTubers I watch, and I watch all day long. Like that's all I do is make YouTube and watch YouTube. So they get their money, you know, and I have YouTube Music. So whenever I'm uploading, when I upload 49 videos at a time, right? And it takes me, like, I don't know, like 90 minutes. So I listen to music when I do that, right? So this is really important because it's part of my workflow. It would be less fun if I didn't have music, because everything else, when I'm recording, I got sound, I got stuff going on, right? When I'm editing, I'm listening to myself and what's going on, right? But when I was uploading, I didn't have anything to listen to. I was bored. So these are really awesome. These are, my sister gave me them to me. They're, what is it, skull candy or whatever? They're really nice. I actually have 2 pairs of these. My sister knows I have this thing about 2s, so they actually got me 2 pairs of them. This is Kitty, right? Kitty's cool because Kitty sits here and shows me where the middle of the camera shot is, right? But normally Kitty sits on my bed and holds my other phone, because my other phone has my YouTube stats and stuff. I constantly can, at a glance, look over and see if some kind of spike is happening on YouTube, and it's really important because I've learned a lot of stuff on how YouTube pushes out the shorts and stuff by staring at 5,000 separate shorts, each uploading throughout the day here and there, and noticing. Like when I got my first viral video, I saw it happen. It was badass, right? The more and the longer I've been doing it, the more it's like just something to the side, but Kitty watches it for me. Kitty does a good job, right? Right? Are we good? I think we're good on that, right? Oh yeah, I got these too. Got something really cool to tell you. These are Ray-Bans, right? Like a lot of the YouTubers and stuff have these. These are those really expensive ones. These are blue light blocking, like super nerd glasses. They're not prescription, right? They're sapphire. When you go outside, they tint and stuff. I forget the name of them, but they're very, very popular. Very, very popular pair of glasses. My sister's husband used to work and be the manager of the Ray-Ban store, so he gave them to me. So when I do my editing and stuff like that, I don't destroy my eyes. Oh yeah, this is the newest thing, right, that I've added, right? And anybody who has a Google account that cares, that has something to lose, should know this, right? So the newest thing that I've done to my YouTube channel is I secured it, right? Google lets you use passkeys now. So how that works, right, is this computer, that computer, this phone, right, and the Samsung phone that you guys are sitting on right now. Y'all are living on my Samsung phone, right? Those all have these security chips in them, right? So instead of a password now, I have a special key, right, that lives in the security chips of these 4 devices, right? So whenever I need to log into Google from now on, or anything that's associated with my Google needs to be logged in, right? I have to use my fingerprint on my phones, or I have to use my biometrics on my computers, right? And I have to physically like log in that way. My phone, my 2 phones, and my 2 computers are my key, right? So if my phone gets stolen, it doesn't matter, because 1, I can track it and do everything with the other 3 devices, and 2, they don't have my fingerprint. So you still can't use my Google account, right? If they come and steal my computer, right, and try to use my Google there, they still have to get into Windows. It's not enough to just have the key. You have to have the key and get in, right? So you have to have my phone and be able to get in. You have to have my computer and be able to get in. If someone tries to trick me and I end up accidentally clicking something to let someone in somewhere else, right, it won't let them, because these phones have to, one of these phones have to be close by the login. So I won't have Linus Tech Tips thing happen where he loses. No one's going to steal my channel, right? I understand how the keys work. The important part is I have more than one, right? And I never take more than one phone away from me, and my computers stay either here or one of them comes with me when I visit my sister. But you have to physically come into my studio and steal my studio, and then somehow also biometrically bypass my security to steal my YouTube channel. It can't be stolen. So I'm really happy about passkey. Don't do it until you understand it a little bit, and don't do it until you can add more than one device, right? Because then you only have one device, so it doesn't work. But I have 4 keys, right? I have my Samsung phone, my Motorola phone, my ROG computer, and I have my NZXT computer. Well, it's actually the AMD, the new AMD chips. It's why Windows 11 requires you to have a security chip and shit like that. It's for this security shit that they're trying to roll out. So I got rid of my fucking passwords. No one's ever going to steal my YouTube channel. Ever. Try. You can't. I'm a tech dude. I know this stuff, right? So that's the biggest thing that I've added to my channel. I think that's it. Oh, let me see if you guys got any questions. All right. Oh, pro tip. If you're going to do a live stream, make sure you're not connected to mobile. Because last time I did a live stream, I was connected to 4G, and I didn't realize it. Let's see. Are we even live? Are we not live? No, we're live. Okay, we're live. Hold on. I need to figure out how to get the comments without grabbing that other phone. Hold on. Ah! Found it. All right. Oh, hey. Yeah, in the bed, using a bed in VR is a game changer. Just make sure you pad everything out, right? Because then you get to increase your play space. It's like my room is like, my play space is 4 beds, right? But it's 4 beds minus a dresser, right? And if I remove this bed, then it's only like a bed and 2/3, right? But instead, I get like 2 beds and 2/3. It's a lot of space. It's totally a game changer. Oh, cool. Hey, does anyone have any questions or anything while I got you here? Well, if not, that's okay. So I've been getting a lot of love from the lives, and they seem to be really popular, right? So I've decided that after we get the PlayStation VR 2 and the PlayStation 5, right, what we're going to do is I'm going to take a month break from saving for the graphics card, and we're going to get a better camera set up, right, so that I can do more live stuff, right, because I've been wanting to do that for a minute. I just been putting it off because all this VR equipment's really expensive, right, and trying to get to where I got the YouTube thing doing what I've already started doing needs to be done first, right, before I start spreading out. A lot of people who are younger than a 40-year-old run into this common problem of trying to do too fucking much. You can't do too much now. You gotta like focus. I don't have a Discord. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have like an active Facebook for you know what I mean? I just do the YouTube, and I'm just doing this VR. And then one thing at a time, I'm adding to it, right? And the next is I need to add a PlayStation 5, because in my position as a YouTuber, the best way I can get the algorithm to show me more people who want to see me, right, is by having more things to possibly show them. Like, if you like my channel and you know me, you probably either like Resident Evil, either like Boneworks, or either like Saints and Sinners, because that's what I put out the most, right? Well, with this PlayStation, it's going to be people who also are wanting a PlayStation VR 2, or who like Horizon, Call of the Mountain, right? Or like whatever the game is there. It's more chances that I can bring people into the little community we have, where we trick them into thinking that they're watching games when what they're actually doing is being a part of something. I'm building a little ecosystem, a universe, right? With multiple games and storylines that continue, and puppets and side stories and Monkey, you know, and Sunny and all that. So the reason why I couldn't just do my puppet show without the games, right, is because I could, right, but then I would have to make puppets and buy camera equipment and all that, right? Instead of the VR, I wouldn't have explosions, I wouldn't have sound effects, I wouldn't have licensed music paid for by Capcom or paid for by Stress Level Zero that I'm legally allowed to use, right? It's a cheat code, right? I found a way to become a puppeteer without having to pay for every single bit of special effects and music and equipment. The computer generates all the visual so that I can just do the entertainment, right? And it was a really good way of doing that. So that's why we're focusing on that. And then that's why we're focusing on the PlayStation, right? And then the reason why we need to get a graphics card is because I need to keep my frame rate high enough that certain small parts of my videos don't do the thing that causes people to get sick, which is rear projection at 90 hertz. I believe going to 120 and never reaching below the 60 will fix it. I think from all my thinking, and a 4080 will do that. But since you guys, I'm really enjoying this community thing, and I'm enjoying talking to you and doing this together so that we can all build this together, right? I'm going to take a break from investing in hardware, and we're going to invest in a really nice camera and microphone setup so we can do some more lives. So that's the plan, right? We got like 2 weeks to go until we get a PlayStation 5, all right? And then we got 4 more weeks after that until we get the PSVR 2. The microphone works. It's good. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to be able to put on the PlayStation VR 2, right, and be able to record the exact same way as I record my other footage, with the exact same microphone, the exact same audio, the exact same software, the exact same resolution. I can put it, everything's going to be the exact same. It's like as if PlayStation VR 2 just works on the PC, because I spent $400 to make PlayStation VR 2 just work on the PC, right? So that Elgato 4K 60 Pro is in there, right? When we upgrade the graphics card, we're going to have to move it, and we're going to have to do something really cool. I already figured out what we have to do, but there's stuff you have to do when you have a graphics card this big and it's filling the slot, right? But I found a really cool way to handle it. So we'll handle that when that comes, right? This thing has 32 gigs of dual channel memory. It's a Ryzen 5800X, right? It's a 8-core. It's not the 3D one, right? I couldn't really use it anyways because the graphics card isn't strong enough. And it's a 3070 fast, right? We got a 750 watt power supply. It's one of the reasons why we're going with a 4080. A 4080 can run on this system, especially an AMD system. They're very low powered. And I only have one thing connected to this besides is a pump. And that's I got a Crucial P5 Pro. It's the fastest NVMe PCI Express 4 drive. It's like 7.2 gigabit per second, 7,200 megabyte transfer speed. It's fast. It's fast enough you can stick it in the PlayStation 5 because it's faster, a little faster than PlayStation 5. So that's in there. I don't have anything plugged into it, right? So it's just a low-powered CPU, 2 sticks of RAM, this pump and some LEDs. There's nothing extra going on. And even when you kick in the capture card is like 15 watts. It's something insignificant. So I can definitely run a 4080. I can definitely not run a 4090. And I don't really need a 4090, and it's hard to get one with a good deal used because people want them. Nobody wants the 4080s, and the used ones are a really good price. So that's why we're going to go with that. And then I'm going to get a GoPro with the creator kit for the microphone for the channel. So that's the plan. So that's a little studio tour, right? Thanks for stopping by. I was gonna do one last time, but I didn't realize the quality was bad. And my roommates had an intimate moment at the very end. And pro tip, they do that, stop the live stream, right? They just made a noise. It's not the end of the world, but it's really, really loud noise. You can go into YouTube after it's done processing your live stream, and you can go to the end and you can cut out the end. You can also go to the beginning if there's empty in the beginning, and you cut out the beginning. It takes it a couple hours, but it does that. So that's what I did. So it's another reason why you like to watch things live, because you never know when you might see something that gets cut out because it's gone now. You can't see it. Right. Or you can't hear him. Let's just put it that way. So that was fun. So thanks for stopping by. Let me check comments one more time. Sunny. Okay, so y'all, Sunny, right? Sunshine VR in the comments. That's actually Sunny the handgun, right? Sunny is also my puppet, and I use her personality mixed with my personality, which is how I do all my puppets. They're all based upon how real people would act. And so I put a little bit of what I see and what I believe is a little bit of her into it, right? So that's her, right? So you should go soak the sun, 70 yard. 2 words, 70 yard. Right. Alright. What's your name? Oh, my first name is Mai, spelled M-Y, right? My last name is Love, spelled L-O-V-E. And my middle name is Cool, C-O-O-L. My parents named me that so that I could go by Michael if I wanted to go by Michael, and I was ashamed of people calling me My Love, right? Which I was for a while. I'm totally not. My name is Mai. My name is My Love. It's just, that's my name. But it's also Michael. My Cool, because my middle name is Cool. So my name is My Love. That's why it's Love Electronics, right? Because I love electronics, and that's available. And I have other channel ideas, right, with other 2-word names that are love this, love that, love this, love that are mine, that I'm keeping quiet. Because when you're trying to be an adult and you're trying to focus and you're trying to make YouTube a business, right, you can have, some ideas, right, but you can't live at all, anytime, even a minute in, I need to do this and this and this and this. That's useless. Let me tell you, it used to be like that. The only thing that matters, right, is what you are doing and what you need to do next. If you plan anything beyond that, right? It's going to fail because something along the line is going to fail. And people like, I won't say who, but someone who's related to me, right, wants to do YouTube too, right? And wants to do all this other businesses that he wants to do. And all he does is think about and contemplate and discuss and this and that. And like he has like 99% of the equipment he needs to like do his YouTube stuff. He has more equipment than I, and he's never pressed record because he needs this and that to be perfect, right? So the whole thing is, right, is there's all these other things I know I can do that I'm just putting off, right? All these other channels and ideas. I'm going to be a content creator. But what matters, right, is what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is I found something, and I found out it has a name, right? It's called a content machine. If you can find your content machine, you are in a good spot. What a content machine is, it's a concept, an idea, a workflow from beginning to end that you can produce and produce and produce and produce endlessly, that you're good at, that people like, that has quality, that can be slowly, over time, constantly get just a little bit better, a standardized product. You most likely, as a person who watches YouTube, you watch a lot of YouTubers that give you a standardized product that you didn't realize. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, that they have a content machine where you're like, oh, cool, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to watch that. And they're able to just make it. Well, I'm able to do that, right? With Sunny and Rabbits and Ta and Exo and Monkey and all of y'all and all of this. It's my content machine, right? It's not something that I can make money. Like at most, like I would be willing if I found a way of having some really cool merch, right? That you could physically own and touch, right? But I'm not looking for a content machine that relies on Patreon, that relies on subscriptions and relies on adverts and all that. If I want to have something that does that, I need to make that specifically. This is made to entertain people, as many people as possible, and to make a consistent product that I can live off of. So I can build up and make these other channels, because I got some really cool ideas. And people who watch this stuff may want to see other things I do, like, you know, we're doing here. Because I know some things, right? Because I'm a little bit old, right? And I'm really good at teaching people stuff, right? I love teaching, right? And I used to be, oh, I still am, but they're all grown now. I'm a father, right? I'm an oldest brother, right? I lots of people look up to me, and I've learned how to be somebody to be looked up to, right? And I enjoy this. And I was raised Jehovah's Witness, right? And I've given a sermon at a football stadium at the age of 11 in front of 38,000 people, and I was excited, like not nervous. I was excited, right? I was like, oh yeah, like that. My whole life I've been like this. I'm made for TV, and I got these cool ideas, and this helps, right? And this is something I want to share with people. And I wasn't sure if you all wanted or cared about this journey I'm doing, but obviously you guys have. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from these lives, and after they're live, people watch them and stuff. So that's what this little column is going to be. So that's what we're doing. I had no idea what the hell I was talking about before. I saw Sunny, my brain went meow. Thank you, Sunny. Sunny said I did a great job. Man, it is. Oh, what your name? That was what it was. Yeah, my name is Michael Love. My name is My Love. Right. And with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. Thanks. Next time, I get something in the mail, like let's see. Oh, we're getting a PlayStation 5. I'm gonna tell you all about that. Right. I'm gonna tell you some stuff about it that you might not understand or know, or my way of looking at a PlayStation 5 as a non-gamer, as a content creator, as a comedian, as a VR enthusiast, how awesome it is, and my way of looking at it. But I'm going to wait till I have it here. All right? Let me tell you all about that. But I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Good night.